Hello, today we are going to do a fundamental analysis of Berger paints and we will try and understand that is Berger the best paint stock in the Indian market. Founded on the 17th of December, Berger Paints is the second largest paint company in India after Asian Paints. The company has presence in 5 countries that include India, Russia, Poland, Nepal and Bangladesh, making it a MNC. Berger holds around 19% of the overall market share. That not only includes the decorative paint segment, but it also includes the automobile segment. That means paints produced by Berger Paints are not only used in homes and offices, but are also used in vehicles. And talking about the return of Berger Paints, it has given a return of 2000% in the last 10 years, which means if you had invested 1 lakh rupees in 2011, it would have been 20 lakhs by now. Firstly, we will take a look at the revenue of the company. In a nutshell, revenue is the income generated by the sales of goods. What we see here is the revenues have grown from a level of 4,223 in 2016 to the level of 6,818 in 2021. This simply shows the consistency at which the sales or the revenue of the company are increasing. There is not even a single year where the revenue have decreased. What you have in front of you is the profit and loss account of Berger Paints. For every kind of business, profit is often regarded as the primary motto, and it also helps to measure the overall performance of the business. So I believe it is must for every investor to take a closer look at least at the profits of the company. We will take a closer look at the net profits. In net profits, all the adjustments are made, which include depreciation, interest, tax, which makes it transparent to assess the business. So here we can clearly see that from the level of 120 crores in 2010 to the level of 720 crores in March 2021, the company has clearly shown hike in its profit consistently. Coming to the balance sheet is considered as an essential tool to understand the current financial health of the business. So here we will take a closer look at the reserves and surplus. Reserves are an amount of money from sales which is kept aside for some future needs. This could be to purchase a fixed asset, to pay bonus, to pay off debt, any. So here we can clearly see that from the level of 1804 crores in March 2017, the reserves have increased to the level of 3279 crores in March 2021. This is considered a good sign for the company. Long-term borrowing is any amount of debt a company holds that has a maturity of 12 months or longer. So here we can clearly see that the debt of the company or the long-term borrowings of the company have decreased from the level of 262 crores in March 2017 to the level of 169 crores in March 2021. If the debt or the long-term borrowing continue to decrease in this way, soon the company will be debt-free, which will initially reduce their interest and eventually it will help to grow profits. Cash and cash equivalents are the most liquid current asset that can be converted into cash immediately. So here we can see that from the level of 102 crores, the cash and cash equivalents have grown and currently they are at a level of 439 crores. Every listed company shares its results 4 times in a year, which are called as quarterly results. So here we have the quarterly results for the recent quarter that ended on September 30, 2021. These are the results for second quarter, that is the current quarter. These are the results of the previous quarter, that is quarter 1. And these are the results of quarter 2, but of 2020. We will take a look at the income of the company. So for the second quarter, that is the current quarter, the income stands at 2,238 crores, which is more than the previous quarter and also for the same quarter last year. Increase in income does not suggest that there will be increase in the profit. So for that we have to see the expenses. This is the expenses section. So what we see here is that there is an abnormal increase in the cost of material consumed in the recent quarter, which is way more than the previous quarter and for the same quarter last year. The reason for this increase is that the raw material used for manufacturing paints is crude oil, and recently the prices of crude oil have skyrocketed, which resulted in the increase of cost of material consumed. Because of the increase in total expenses, there is an impact on the net profit for the period. Here you can see that the profits have increased quarter on quarter basis, but the profits are flat on the yearly basis. The debt to equity ratio is used to evaluate a company's financial leverage and is calculated by dividing a company's total liabilities by its shareholders' equity. Generally, debt to equity ratio under 1 is considered good. So here you can see that Berger Paints was able to maintain debt to equity ratio of 0.05 in 2021. Here you can see that Berger Paints was able to consistently reduce its debt to equity ratio. Now we will talk about the ROCE and the ROE of the company. Return on capital employed, or ROCE, is a good baseline to measure a company's performance. It is an indicator of a company's efficiency because it measures the company's profitability after factoring the capital used to achieve that profitability. Generally, ROCE above 20% is considered good. But what we see here is that Berger Paints is able to maintain an ROCE above 26%. That is very impressive. ROE is a measure of profitability of a business in relation to the equity. ROE can also be thought of as a return on asset minus the liabilities. Generally, ROE above 15 to 20% is considered good. Again, we can see that Berger Paints has comfortably placed itself above 20%. Here is an exception. Except for that, the ROE is well above 20%. In the blue section, we can see the promoter holding, that is 74.99. According to SEBI guidelines, promoters can only have 75% shares of the company. So, this shows the trust of the promoters in their company. In the green section, we see the FII holding, that is 11.22%. FII, or the foreign institutional investors, refers to the outside entities who are investing in the nation's financial market. In the yellow section, we can see the DII holding, that is 3.9%. DII, or the domestic institutional investors, includes mutual funds, hedge funds, and pension funds. In the orange section, we have the public that have 9.88% shares of Berger Paints. Retail investor comes under this category. Overall, the shareholding pattern of Berger Paints looks decent. Now we will look at the valuations of the company. Here you can see that the PE ratio has been represented through a chart. The PE ratio is used to find out whether the stock of the company is overvalued or undervalued. After looking at the chart, you can see that the current PE is around 85, which is a lot lower than the median PE of 112. Now we will see how to calculate the PE ratio. The formula for calculating the PE ratio is share price divided by the earning per share. So the current share price of Berger Paints as on 7th December is 737 and the earning per share is 8.63. So it comes out to be 85.3. 85.3 looks on the higher side, but when we compare it to the sector PE, that is of 90.90, it looks reasonable. This is the share price of Berger Paints for the last 1 year. Talking about the 52-week high, it is 872 rupees. That was somewhere here. But currently the share price is trading at 737, that is almost 15% lesser than the 52-week high, and I believe it is an opportunity now. Conclusion. Berger Paint has shown a consistent growth in sales and profits. Debt of the company is easily manageable. Berger Paint has shown a very strong balance sheet. This we can say because the reserves are increasing and the long-term borrowing are decreasing. Talking about the shareholding pattern, it is very impressive as promoters have 75% of the shares, which shows the trust of the promoters in the company. And according to me, the share price of Berger Paints is trading at fairly valued valuations. Which brings us to the question that is Berger Paints the best paint stock in the Indian market? After doing the fundamental analysis of only a single paint company from the entire sector, we cannot conclude this. In the upcoming videos, I will do a fundamental analysis of its peer competitors and then we will compare and evaluate which paint company stock is best in the Indian market. Thank you and have a nice day.